stretching sands as drought and desertification spread to Europe. Remember a couple of years back, the rivers of Germany were so low that the boats could not sail in the Danube River. Now, what's happening to Europe with desertification? Drought and desertification threatens to degrade land in Europe and around the world. The scale of the issue is sometimes underappreciated, but dry lands cover over 41% of the Earth's terrestrial land surface. They are now home to over 38% of the world's population. The UN sponsors the World Day to Combat Desertification and Drought, that's today, June 17, 2022, to highlight this issue. Droughts lead to the loss of arable land through desertification and death of vegetation and a scarcity of drinking water. Europe is not immune to the intensifying aridity. Quite apart from heat waves, water stress and aridity affect 168,000 square kilometers in Italy and 365,000 square kilometers in Spain, according to data compiled by Joint Research Center JRC. Scientists in the Dry to Dry project, using climate models, satellite data, and meteorological measurements, are researching the capacity of drought and heat waves to intensify and propagate by themselves. Professor Diego Miralles, professor of hydrology and climate at Ghent University, Belgium, says, "This is a process that has not been studied before." And as I'm reading this article for you, let's remember that every year that has passed by have seen record heat temperatures. Now we were wondering what this summer is going to bring us. Now, drought evolution, he said, by understanding it better, we can get better forecasts of how droughts may evolve and set early warnings for adaptation early enough. The availability of water is determined by two factors: how much it rains and how much the atmosphere demands from the land during the process of evaporation, said Morales. So, of course, the hotter it is, the more water evaporates. Morales says this balance of moisture has been changing due to global warming. While precipitation is changing differently in different regions, evaporation is mostly increasing due to the increase in temperature. And as I'm reading this, I'm going to go to the null school to see what the temperature is over Kansas because of the tremendous loss of cattle heads. Some say 10,000, and they're probing as to why that's going on. I want to see what the temperature is there now. But anyway, going back to this. This balance of moisture has been changing due to global warming, while precipitation is changing differently in different regions. Evaporation mostly increasing due to the increase in temperature. Therefore, there is a tendency for most regions in the world to become increasingly arid, he said. Whatever the cause of drought, it affects general ecosystem dynamics, including availability of drinking water for the population. It also has serious implications for biodiversity, as plants must be able to photosynthesize with less water in the soil, as well as cope with an atmosphere that evaporates more water thanks to higher temperatures. Drought often leads to desertification, where the land is so arid it becomes infertile and loses biological productivity. This has catastrophic consequences on societies and ecosystems. A vicious cycle. In the case of a drought, the evaporation cycle becomes a vicious cycle, a circle. Since evaporation is lower, there's less likelihood of condensing water in the atmosphere and triggering rainfall. With a dry atmosphere, there's less water to moisturize the soil. Furthermore, the soil tends to dry out in spring because it's already warmer than before. Then plants start to grow and consume the water earlier in the year. The summer commences with drier soil, and there is no way to buffer the temperature by evaporating water. Morales says this is known to happen locally, but we are looking at how the wind moving that massive dry air to another location can trigger a new drought. It becomes a bit like a wildfire. The impact of rising global temperature means not only are the heat waves and more droughts, but they tend to occur at the same time. There are two ways to improve the situation: to adapt and to mitigate. Land cover changes with vegetation, for example, as an adaptation measure can help us resist heat waves, but we must make sure that this is not our plan A, says Morales. Plan A should be to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Desert sky. Professor Fernando Maestre, professor of ecology at the University of Alicante, began his research in Spain in 2005. The project BioDesert carried out the first global field survey to evaluate how changes in climate and land use, such as grazing pressure, affect dryland's ecosystem. In order to survey such a vast phenomenon, collaborative work is key. The BioDesert project is now global and includes scientists and ecosystems from 21 countries on all continents, with the exception, of course, of Antarctica. Quote, I asked all the research teams to do everything exactly as we had already done it in Spain, because using different methods would have meant we would not be able to compare the results from the various areas surveyed across the world, said Maestre. Our approach in Spain had proved its worth, and now we had to test if it could function in a different environment, and it did, he said. With the shifting sands of time, the problem of land degradation in arid areas and drylands has spread since the first UN Plan of Action to combat desertification was adopted in 1977. There are serious threats to food security, biodiversity, and the world economy as more and more territory succumbs to desertification. The researchers observed that plant and microbial diversity plays a key role in maintaining the capacity of drylands to provide essential ecosystem services linked to soil fertility and the production of plant biomass. These ecosystem services are fundamental for supporting the livelihood of more than 1 billion people globally. They also reported that increases in aridity promote abrupt changes on the structure of functioning of drylands. This culminates with a shift to low cover, sparse vegetation ecosystems that are nutrient and species poor at high aridity values. The UN Substantial Development Goals, SDGs, for 2030 call for sustainable land management and increased cooperation on desertification, dust storms, land degradation, and drought to promote resilience and avoid disaster. Until a few years ago, nobody could imagine the important role of biodiversity in global drylands, nor the presence of multiple ecosystem thresholds in response to increases in aridity. These discoveries improve the understanding of how drylands are changing in response to climate change now and in the future. Early warnings. Eventually, these insights may be used to help design effective actions to stem desertification across dryland worldwide. The JRC's new edition of World Atlas of Desertification specifically states that, quote, land degradation is considered to be a global problem of human dominance, end quote. BioDesert is now testing the suitability of multiple early warning indicators. Results suggest that the characteristics of dryland vegetation may be used to flag ecosystem degradation across global drylands. They also plan to expand the research program to start exploring long-term changes in the structure and functioning of drylands by again surveying the original field sites they surveyed over 15 years ago. This is provided by Horizon, EU Research and Innovation Magazine on phys.org. And I just remembered they should also get in touch with Israel, who has been greenifying the droughted deserts of Israel, turning them green. Now let's take a look at Null School to see what's going on with the weather over Kansas. Okay, here we are. Right now we're looking at the particles, the chemical particles. This is sulfur dioxide, carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide. This is the Snake River, and let's go over Kansas. Let's go to air. temperature, air temperature. Okay. Well, it's pretty hot, but this would be, oh, it's in Celsius. Okay, well, that must be the weather. That's pretty hot. Basically, it's the same as what it is in Lower California. And that's not the color, is it? Is it somewhere around there? So that whole area, basically, it's hot. Let's see the winds. Okay, there's southerly winds. Air. Okay. Winds. Temperature. Wind temperature. Okay, this is the surface wind temperature, so that's pretty hot right there. That's around that color, isn't it? That's pretty hot. Okay, so here we are. 38.5 degrees is Celsius is 103 Fahrenheit, and 40 degrees is 104. So what's Texas? Texas is just about the same. Okay. It's not that red, but I guess it's about the 104, 101 to 104. So I don't know if that, I mean, Texas has a lot of cattle and a lot more heat than Kansas, but isn't that strange? They say excessive heat is and humidity blamed for the cattle demise in Kansas. I had just one of my, just a little while ago, a comment from one of my viewers in Texas saying they have a lot more heat in Texas and they don't have the problem with cattle there. So what's going on? Anyway, this is what we have. I'll leave links for Null School. You can play around with this to find out what you want. Spain has a lot of heat. Ooh, look at this. Very hot. Wow. 51 degrees. What's this? What is this? 123 degrees Celsius in Spain and Portugal. Look at this. A balmy in Greece where I am is a balmy nothing. It's a balmy what? 25. It's not that hot today. Okay, what is going on there? 123 degrees in Spain. Even northern France is much hotter than, what is going on there? Germany, all these areas are much hotter than what we are in Greece. Oh my. Okay, well anyway, that's bad news for Europe. Obviously, you can see the surface temperatures. So I'll leave the links below. You can see what's going on in your area as well. Okay, this area is pretty cold. Well, okay, the north, okay. What? Why is that so cold there? 8 degrees. Let's say 9 degrees. 48 degrees Fahrenheit. What is going on there? Okay, we know that we have a lot of rain in the area of floods and rain in the area of Yellowstone, Montana. Come on in. Where are we? Okay. It's not showing. Anyway, this is the area right there. Montana and Wyoming. It's around, what is it? It's around, is that the color? 13 degrees. Why is it so cold? It's raining a lot there. 55 Fahrenheit. Okay. Anyway, I'll leave links below for you. I just wanted to take a look to see what's going on there. Even look at this. Even Newfoundland is a, look at this. Newfoundland Greenland is warmer than, what is that? That's 16.5 degrees. 16, let's say 17, 62 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay. With Spain. Okay, show us, please. It doesn't want to show us. Anyway, it's around, oh, okay, 44 degrees, 44.5 degrees, 44.5, 112 in Spain. Okay, what about London, the southern area of the UK? Let's see what that comes up to. Let's take the reading for us. Doesn't want to. Anyway, so, 39.8 degrees. That's pretty hot. Let's remember that most people in the UK don't even have air conditioning. 104 degrees Fahrenheit. I shouldn't laugh. This is absurd. Let's go to Athens, where I'm sitting now. Okay, it's much nicer on the islands because you have a nice summer breeze, but this is it right there. Let's see what that is. And it's much cooler, obviously. It's going to be much cooler than, where is it? Oh, it's 28 degrees. Okay. There we are. It's 28 degrees Celsius. Is 28, 82 Fahrenheit. So come on over and I'll make you a nice, cool lemonade. Okay, that's it. I'll leave links for below for you. And this is surprising, this weather pattern here in Europe. Really surprising. Let's see what's happening in Scandinavia. My son's going to go there for vacation. We're going to Copenhagen. Wonderful, wonderful Copenhagen. I shouldn't sing it. I may get a strike. Okay, 22 degrees. 71 degrees. Okay, that's beautiful. So anyway, yeah, Copenhagen has Legoland and beautiful things for family and children. Okay, I'm not promoting them. It's just that's the way it is. Besides, he's got free air tickets to go there. Maybe that's the reason. He's got free air tickets to go there. Okay, so this is strange weather patterns here. Let's see what it is around here. 37, 30. That's not that bad. That's not that bad. 30. Let's say 31 degrees. 80. Not even 90 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's not that hot there. Okay, all of you, please stay well hydrated, drink a lot of liquids, eat a lot of salads, and thank you for your comments and your support. Thank you. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.